Richard Kern, a filmmaker and South Dade alumni, came today to talk to young students about the Everglades and the coral reefs of our seas.
This year, thematically, we're talking about the coastal Everglades. So, South Dade, probably more than any other high school I can think of that I visit, it's the most relevant to us right here. Like I said in the introduction, we're about 15 minutes from Everglades National Park and about 10 or 15 minutes from Biscayne National Park. So thematically, like I said, really relevant to us here and especially you guys, South Dade.
Historically, large populations of spoonbills nested.
One of the goals of his films is to bring attention to the fragility of the ecosystem and the plight of animals like the key deer.
These birds were nearly hunted to extinction.
Key deer, the film makes it out to be very bleak. We're actually doing a very good job of keeping their populations alive. Now, the problem is their habitat has disappeared. So there's not as much habitat to support a bigger population. So it's complicated. But there are lots of other organisms in the Keys that we're worried about. The Key Largo wood rat is critically endangered. Also, several species of butterflies. We don't hear about little butterflies. Are very, very rare and endangered, and some of them only can be found in the Middle Keys and sometimes the Upper Keys. So that's a problem that gets overlooked, but it's sort of towards the base of the food web. We need to be concerned when small things like butterflies are disappearing.
For Kern, Nature Filmmaker is a family business where he still works closely with his father.
I was a film lecturer for the National Audubon Society, and I would go on tour around the United States speaking to sort of travel adventure audiences. And occasionally they would book me into a school, and when I realized that kids responded to this type of presentation, I thought to myself, why not try something like this in Miami-Dade County? That was about 35, 36 years ago. And I did it for many years, and Richard has taken over the mantle.
My dad started this, this documentary, thing, and it was his thing, and I always thought it was so cool. But for some reason, I always thought of it as his thing. And a few years ago, at dinner, my dad's like, you know what, I'm going to think about retiring, and I'd like to pass this on to maybe a young science teacher, who could carry it on. And that's when it clicked, and I was like, whoa, wait a second. I would love to do this, and I think it fit me well. So
Remember, preserving our national parks and especially the beautiful areas around our community is very important for the wildlife's sake. For Ripside, I'm Adrian Dominguez.